They put sand on these mounting blocks, and that was to absorb a lot of the percussion coming out of the gun. Awesome. Straight over here is their bunks, so to speak. It's like caves in the limestone. Not exactly five-star accommodation, but comfortable enough nonetheless. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff down here. You can see all these old timbers. These caves go right back. Absolutely brilliant vantage point. You can see the whole of the channel from up here. However, when I was down in the channel, you couldn't see any of this. It was invisible, perfectly camouflaged. Here's a whole pile of empties, a combination of beer and sake bottles. A lot of the blokes that were up here were in their late teens, early 20s, and there was nothing to do except try and get a feed and drink. They'd pretty well get on the grog, and this whole place is littered with bottles. Medicine bottle. Totally unlike all the alcohol bottles that we've been finding. Now, medicine was really important to the Japanese. They had food in the form of anything they could gather in and around the islands, rock hopping, catching crustaceans and stuff. And of course, collecting water, very clever at that. Medicine, any little cuts like this would fester. Even these days in the tropics, without help, you'll fester really quickly. Infections just go rank. And so the Japanese, without medicines for all sorts of ailments, including cuts, got sick, got real crook pretty quick. And so one of their demises was actually, when they got cut off, they never got any more medicine. They were able to eat and drink, no problem, but they got sick as. And you can even see up here what they've been eating. So this is where they threw out all their empties, only shells. Combination of clams, oysters. They're also very efficient with fish traps, fishing, crabs, virtually anything in and around the waterway were edible. Now this is a great pillbox. Oh, how's this? It's got writing on the wall. A lot of these pillboxes have got some incredible inscriptions writing on the wall. And this one's in Korean. And it says, Mum and Dad, I long for you, I miss you, something to that effect. And over here, this is actually an address. So this was a letter back to their mum and dad. The Japanese were big on slavery, and they had Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese, the Palauans, the local peoples. They used them for slavery, and they actually built all this stuff. And they were up here working away, and it was a harsh life, a real harsh life. If you fell behind, you just left to die.
The war in the air was intense. Boom! Another one hits the dust.
This is a Zeke, you know, the infamous Zero, that infamous Japanese fighter. Pretty sleek looking plane. And in their day, they could outmaneuver just about anything. Until they made the P-38s and the Corsairs, the Hellcats and the Spitfires, the Zeros virtually dominated the sky. got hit in a dogfight and he's come in for a shallow water landing, wheels up, shallow water landing, and brought her in, and then she set down on the reef.
And this Zero has weathered the elements quite well. It's still intact. A lot's got to do with the aluminium fuselage. Look at that. As a structure, it's still looking pretty good. You can even see where it got hit by bullets and firepower. And this is where the machine gun was mounted, right at the front. I tell you what, as I sit in the cockpit, I wonder whether the pilot lived through the crash landing and then survived the hell of the bombardments and the hand-to-hand fighting on land.
One of the major roles in the Pacific War was Operation Hailstorm, and that involved a massive naval attack on the Japanese fortress of Truk. And lying on the bottom, kind of like relics on the bottom of Truk Lagoon, is over 70 Japanese vessels and aircraft.
And it was during Operation Hailstone that American aircraft carriers were at the heart of a huge armada advancing on a major Japanese hub, supplying their whole Pacific campaign. Of all the Japanese-held islands, this was the most daunting. With 40,000 troops and a vital naval base, Truk is considered Japan's Pearl Harbor. The US pilots called this a turkey shoot, even though the Japanese had withdrawn their big Pacific fleet before the attack took place. Operation Hailstone was still one of the most successful US engagements of the entire war, a decisive blow that helped cut off 250,000 enemy troops and destroyed hundreds of enemy planes and ships. There's a feeling of apprehension, not knowing what I'll find as I move through the shadowy wrecks of warships and freighters that are absolutely strewn all over the lagoon. Check this out. Human remains. Scattered like a symbol on the deck. Here's some teeth, cranium, head, arms, legs. Amazing stuff. And scattered with them are bowls they used for food. What an experience.
So that's the Ikuku, and it's a destroyer. Bones, there's bones on it.
And this is a Japanese sub-chaser, the Sutsuki. And the only way to get into it is the tiniest of openings. I gotta try and squeeze through there to get into the guts of the ship. A real tight squeeze. Have to try and squeeze, mould my body to get through the hole like a moray eel. Very dangerous dive, but necessary if I want to get into the bowels. Once inside, the eeriness of the darkness encloses, engulfs you. I'm not sure whether the goosebumps are from the eeriness or the cold of the water. I can tell you one thing for sure. It was great to see that big